Right then, on to another ASICS video. Now the interesting stuff's about to happen. So, on the previous video, we showed all the modifications we've got planned, at least initially. There might be an odd bit of stuff get thrown in there in between. But the first job, if you look at it, it's just ridiculously high. So, I think what we need to do, I'll just measure where we are. So, to edge at rim, this is the worst ruler in the world, I do apologise. I don't want to scratch arch. So, about 100mm to edge at rim from arch there. So, Owen's got the springs, he's ready with his tools, let's get it lowered. It's done, it's lower. If you want to watch the time lapse of it getting the springs fitted, wait till the end, thought it makes sense to put it in between. So, see how much lower it actually is. I can't see because of Danny's camera. Yeah, that's a good 35, maybe nearer to 40mm, which I think, looking at it, it looks a lot better. I think the rear could probably go down a touch, but usually the rears do settle a bit more than the fronts. The front's got all the weight on it anyway. The rear has to get a little bit working before it goes. But yeah, I think this is the sort of height I wanted to go for. We didn't really want to be going as far as coilovers and stuff like that, so really, really happy with that. So they're the H&R springs. Let's get the wheels on. So, as a slight aside, before these get thrown on, these wheels are sided. So, that you get sort of 2 pairs of wheels, not 4 of the same. So, this one is the right-hand side, this one's the left-hand side. So, if people have got it wrong way around, or if we've got it wrong way around, point and laugh. That's what you want to do. Can't wait to see them on car. So, Owen's got the wheels on. I think it looks sweet. So these are 21s. The 21 be 10, Danny? You know.
9.5.
9.5. So, yeah, looks really nice. We've ended up, because of the brake calipers on these, there's a tiny little bit that nearly touches here. So this has got a 3mm spacer behind the wheel, but when we upgrade to the bigger calipers, there'll actually be a 3mm spacer behind the disc, and that's a 400mm disc, so quite a bit bigger than this, a couple of inches bigger than this. So the wheel is going to still be sort of in the same position in the arch. So I'm a little bit concerned at how close this is going to be. I think it's fine as it's sat now, but when you've got a body shop across the road, there's no point taking any chances. So we'll take this over there and we'll let Lee and Alan work the magic and see what they can do with it. So Lee's rolled the arches, done a decent job. As usual with old paint, you can get little bits of cracks underneath, but on the surface it's absolutely fine. So there should be plenty of room if we end up with a little bit more poke when we put the big brakes on there, but it should be about the same, but better safe than sorry. Once your tyres whack your arch, usually it needs repairing. So I think this is done as far as the aesthetics are concerned. The big brakes will be going on probably next week sometime, but we'll leave that for a little bit if we can. If it's ready before we get some good weather, maybe we'll do them before we do the next bit, which really needs to be road testing. Let's see how it feels with the springs, the new tyres, the new wheels, and then we can get the V-Box in there and see what acceleration times we can get. Then we'll tune it, see what they get, and onto the dyno. But the tuning and the dyno will probably be the next video, so we'll see how we get on. So, finally managed to get out in this. Got a little bit of a improvement in the weather, which is always nice. Don't know how long it's going to last. There's some very dark clouds looming. So, for this video, I'm going to cap it off. We're seeing what this can do standard. So at the minute, we've got the Bentley wheels, Bedestine tyres, and we've got, I'll go bumpy way, H&R springs, which a few people said it and we saw it as well fitting them. We might be, there's some like little sleeves that we'll take out of the back just to drop it a little bit more because it's lower on the front than it is at the back. So I'll put these tyres are a bit noisy, that's what I have noticed. But we'll see how we're getting on. So at the minute, this is totally standard, not done anything to it. So 313 horsepower. My God, I do need a bit of window down. 313 horsepower. Normally do about that on a dyno anyway. And not done anything, no other mods really. So it's literally wheels, tyres and springs. So this is a good base to start doing the launching. On the last A5, on the last project A5, we swapped wheels in between and it did make a little bit of a difference to the launching, so I'm not going to have that same problem this time. So ride quality, it's firm, but S-Line Audis always are. Don't feel too wallowy. Feels nice and pointy. Obviously it's a big car. Not much heavier than the A5, which there's quite a bit of aluminium and composite stuff apparently in these A6s. Tracking's a little bit out on this car as well, but it was when we bought this, so we'll get that sorted. Still not got the brakes on there. They should be on next week. I'll tip into this roundabout and see. Yeah, plenty of grip. Not too much body roll. Yeah, really happy with that. So, what are we? Just over 3/8 of a tank of fuel, so not tons of fuel, but it's not empty. So we'll do how do I do it? Traction off. We'll do sport mode. See what we can get it to do. Don't know how the launch procedure is going to work on this, but see what it does. Foot's going to be hard on brake, as hard as I can do it. All the way on the res. And we're off. So these are meant to be 5.3 to 60, and that there were 4.85, so pretty quick standard. I think the BMW 535, so that's too much. Definitely need aircon on, but I don't want to screw my figures up with this, putting aircon on. Like a 335D, this is probably more comparable to a 535, but 335s are doing it in like 4.5, so standard, so this is pretty quick. A big old land yacht. We'll do the usual, do it on the way back as well as on the way up, because it can be a little bit different. So that was 4.85 again. So there's one thing about this car, very consistent. So I think we'll call that done for now. So the next video, there's going to be some tuning going on. A little bit sooner than we might think. So we've done a few of these, so we can just put a tune on and see what it can do. But whether we dyno it first or after, we'll see how it all pans out, and we'll go from there.